program. Today we are continue the first session for reproduction. We talked about the reproduction in the living organism and we described the reproduction in the plant. Also, we talked about the reproduction in the male reproductive organ and what are the components of male reproductive organs and also how the sperm is formed. Okay, we end the first session by the sperm and the structure of it. Now we are continue the reproduction in living organism and we start with the reproduction in the female reproductive organ. What are the female reproductive organ? The female reproductive organ found in the pelvic region of the human. The human body consists of head, thoracic, abdomen and pelvic. The female reproductive found in the region of the pelvic. What are the structure? Let us to show what is the structure of the female reproductive organ. The female genital system or the female reproductive organ consists of number 1, 2 ovaries, okay, 2 fallopian tubes like figure, show in the figure the 2 fallopian tubes, the 2 ovaries, uterus and the vagina. Okay, you can see that it takes the shape of pear inside the abdominal cavity. Okay, again 2 ovaries, 2 fallopian tube and also uterus and by vagina. Okay, what is the two? This is the ventral size or the ventral show figure for the female reproductive organ. Another describe what is the organ side. The organ of female genital system behind the urinary bladder is found behind the urinary bladder in the pelvic region. Okay, and they are connected with the elastic ligament, allow their expansion during pregnancy. This means that the uterus is connected with elastic ligaments. You know what is meant by ligaments? Ligaments is a type of muscular tissue that bind the organs together. And this ligament allows the uterus to increase in size and decrease to take the volume of the baby, okay, during the pregnancy. Okay, what is the function of the system? First, we can describe that the 2 ovaries produce ovum each month, okay, by exchange of each other. Means the first ovary produce ovum in this month and followed by another ovum in the second month by the second ovary. So the 2 ovaries contain a large number of ova found inside them during the pregnancy or before pregnancy. Okay, each one come from each month. Okay, what is the structure of the ova? First, the function, the production of ova, the secretion of 6 hormones, female 6 hormones. You know that the male reproductive organ produce hormones like testosterone hormones. But here in the female, there are 2 another hormones. What are these 2 hormones? Progesterone and estrogen. Okay. The organ of female genital system behind the urinary and found like in the pelvic region, and during this the expansion allow. Number 3, providing a safe place for completion for fertilization. The uterus is the place in which the baby found, and this place is a safe for complete the reproduction of baby or the production of it. After fertilization of ovum, the baby is formed. Okay, uterus providing a safe place for the embryo development till the pairs. What is the structure of the female genital system of human? Consists of first, two ovaries. Okay. What is the two ovaries? They lie on the two sides of pelvic cavity. Each ovary take the like oval in shape, like the peeled almond. Peeled almond means the like the size of one from your neck. During childhood, for the female, each ovary contain thousands of ova. Okay, this may reach to about 400 ova. Okay, until mature. During this 400 ovum found for 30 years active reproductive. Two ovaries found, or from each ovary, one mature ovum is discharged, alternated with the other ovary each month. What is the importance of ovum? Okay, number one, we must describe what is the importance of ovary. What is the ovary? Ovary, the main function for it, producing the ova. And this number of ova found inside the female for 400 ovum in the fertilization or during the fertilization process. Okay, each ovum come each month. Okay, if it is fertilized, it produces baby. But when it is not fertilized, it formed the menstrual cycle. So, also secretion of puberty hormones like the progesterone and estrogen. This is two hormones regulating the menstrual cycle and also regulating the embryo development. This is the structure of ovary. What is the structure? What happens inside the ovary? First, the Graafian follicles is formed and the luteolus, okay, corpus luteolus, to form or to produce the ovum and come out in mature state until it fertilized or not fertilized to form a baby if it is fertilized, or form menstrual cycle if it isn't fertilized. Okay. Also, this is the structure of the fallopian tube, and when this fallopian tube by the cilia pick up the ovum from the ovary to make it inside, or to push it inside the uterus, allow the fertilization to occur. Okay. First, this is described that there is a germinal cell. Germinal cell or mother cell. This mother cell contains diploid number of chromosomes. Diploid means 2n, means 46 chromosomes. Okay? We now describe what happens inside the ovary. Inside the ovary undergo meiosis division. What is the meiosis division? In meiosis division, the mother cell produces 4 ovum, okay? 4 cells, each one of them contain haploid number. First is the mother cell contain diploid number. Diploid number means 46 chromosome. After undergo meiosis division, meiosis 1, it produces 2 ovum. These 2 contain, or 2 cells, each one contain haploid number of chromosome. Then they followed by meiosis 2. In meiosis 2, each one of these cells produce 2 cells similar to it, contain also the same number of chromosome, haploid number. So if I present or I begin the meiosis division by 46 chromosome, I end by 4 cells, each one contain 23 chromosome. This is the type of meiosis division occur inside the ovary to produce the ovum and the 3 polar cells. Okay, yeah, like this in figure, shows that is meiosis 1 produces 2 cells. Number 1, first polar body, and number 2, secondary oocyte. Haploid number. The secondary oocyte contain haploid number. After meiosis 2, what happens? The ovum is formed and the 3 cells, okay, each one contains or formed by non or said by polar bodies, polar A bodies, secondary polar bodies, and the ovum produced haploid number. What is the two fallopian tubes? The two fallopian tube, each tube like a funnel shape. Funnel shaped means like the funnel. And this tube can pick up the ovum from the ovary to push this ovum inside the fallopian tube and go inside the uterus. Go inside the uterus. Okay, this is the structure of the fallopian, providing with finger-like process. This finger contains cilia, which receives the ovum, and each fallopian lined with cilia to direct the ovum toward the uterus. What is the uterus? Uterus is elastic muscular sac. Means, what is the elastic? Elastic means can be expand and contract easily. This is the expansion. Uterus is an organ which allows to expand and contract according to the size of the baby. Okay, it expanded due to the ligament. Uterus join with the pelvic region by ligaments, which enables this organ expand and contract easily, also during the pregnancy. Okay, this is between. It is elastic muscular sac organ present between the pelvic bones and provided with a strong, thick muscular wall. Also, the uterus lined with the glandular membrane. Inside the uterus, there are glandular membrane, which this glandular membrane enables the uterus to secrete mucus to help or to protect the baby. Also, it ends with a cervix, which opens into the vagina, through which the embryo is formed inside this uterus for 9 months. After that, the baby can go out through the vagina. What is the vagina? Muscular tube. This is a muscular tube whose length about 7 centimeters. Starts from cervix and end with the genital opening. Okay, and this is vagina, through which the baby can go out the body by contraction and relaxation. Also, vagina lined like the uterus, lined with glandular membranes. These glandular membranes secrete mucus fluid to moisten the vagina, and also it has folds to allow expansion, especially during baby pairs. What is the ovum? Ovum produced from the ovary, and it like any cell. Ovum, cell, okay, ovum like sperm. Ovum and sperm, they are cells which contain haploid number of chromosomes. Also, any cell, you know, that is the structure of the cell, must be found membrane, cytoplasm, and the nucleus. Ovum, this structure contain also cell membrane, cytoplasm, and then the nucleus of ovum, also the nucleus of sperm. The two nuclei contain, each one of them contain haploid number, means 23 chromosomes. If they fusion together to form the baby, this 23 chromosome combine with another 23 from ovum and 23 from sperm. These the two combine together to produce what? To produce the baby, which contain 46 chromosomes. Okay. Also, the ovum, like in this, ovum contains cytoplasm nucleus enveloped by membrane or coat. This membrane, strong membrane, and this is held together by the action of hyaluronic acids. Okay, this membrane found in ovum held together means catch together or become contact to each other by the action of hyaluronic acids. You take care from hyaluronic acid because to penetrate the ovum, the sperm need to secrete hyaluronase enzyme. Okay, we will describe it after this session. Therefore, millions of sperms are required to penetrate the ovum. Okay, the number of sperms, you know that is the number of sperms may reach P to 300 or 500 millions. Okay, also these sperms penetrate the ovum by secreted the enzyme, hyaluronidase enzyme. This enzyme, I describe it, and it secreted from the acrosomes from the sperm. And this enzyme led to dissolving this coat, the strong coat found in ovum. This strong coat can be removal by using the hyaluronidase enzyme. This enzyme dissolve the ovum coat and penetrate, allow only one sperm to enter inside the nucleus of the ovum. When they enter, what happens? The ovum cover this hole and prevent any sperm other to penetrate the ovum. And this is by the action of sperm. Okay, breeding cycle. What is the breeding cycle? Breeding cycle, it is a certain period, okay, in the life of placental mammals. All mammals, all the mammals that give baby and suckle their youngs, these mammals contain placental. Placental means placenta or المشيمة عند females, where the ovary becomes regularly active in the adult female, and these periods are synchronized with sexual function of breeding and reproduction. This is breeding cycle differ from one mammal to another. Each one has a breeding cycle differ from the other. The period of breeding cycle differs in different mammals, where it may be, okay, annually as in lions. And lions and tigers, 2 breeding cycles per year. Semi-annually as in the cats and dogs, monthly as in rabbits and rat, every month. Okay, يبقى annually in lions and tigers means they can give baby each one breeding cycle one time. But in cats and dogs can make breeding cycle semi-annually, means twice in the year. Monthly, like the rabbit and rat, can produce a breeding cycle every month. The period in which the ovary of female is active is known as menstruation or menstrual cycle. The menstruation or menstrual cycle appears in the female from the puberty features. With the puberty features or from the symptoms of puberty features, the producing of menstrual cycle. And this menstrual cycle take 28 days, okay, and differ from female to another. These 28 days, there are at the end of them, after the menstrual cycle, 5 days for bleeding. This to get out the ovum, out of the uterus, when they not fertilized. And this is menstrual cycle for the female, means every month. And when they are pregnant, there is no menstrual cycle happen. It takes 28 days where the 2 ovaries alternate with each other for production for mature ova. What is the proliferation stage? The proliferation stage, the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. You know that is the pituitary gland found in the brain, and this is responsible for secretion hormones like FSH hormones and also the LS hormones. This is hormones FSH and stimulates the ovary to form mature Graafian follicle. This mature Graafian follicle which contain the ovum. The growth of Graafian follicle take 10 days, okay? This is the first 10 days of the menstrual cycle. The first 10 days of 28 for growth the Graafian follicle. And after that, the Graafian follicle secretes during its growth estrogen hormone, which stimulates the growth of endometrium. During the first 10 days of the menstrual cycle, the first 10 days, the estrogen hormone produce the indication or secretion to increase it, and this led to thickness of endometrium. Means the endometrium is the muscles of the uterus. This muscle of the uterus become more thick and strong, supplied with blood vessels and the blood capillaries. Why? Due to the secretion of estrogen hormones. And this is the questions why or what is the type of hormones that led to thickness of endometrium. The type of hormone that led to thickness of endometrium, estrogen hormone. Ovulation stage. Ovulation stage start when the anterior lobe of pituitary gland secretes the luteinizing hormone, means LH hormone. Okay, so the pituitary gland secretes or initiate the two hormones FSH and LH. Okay, luteinizing hormones and FSH. Okay, in 14th day. Okay. From beginning of menstrual cycle. The first 10 of menstrual cycle, we said the P4, that is the first 10 for the growth of Graafian follicle. After that, from the 4th day, what happens from the 14th day, اليوم ال14, what happens? Hormones, LH hormone secreted by the action of pituitary gland, and this causes the rupture of Graafian follicle. When the Graafian follicle ruptures, means the ovum is produced. The ovum is produced. Okay, the release of ovum and formation of corpus luteum from the Graafian follicle remains. The corpus luteum secretes the progesterone hormone. This is the second hormone after estrogen. Estrogen make the uterus or the endometrium هي wall of the uterus. The estrogen hormone make the wall of the endometrium or wall of the uterus become thick and supplied with blood capillaries. After that, after the 14th day, what happens? The progesterone hormone produced. These progesterone hormones make the uterus become more stronger to complete pregnancy if the ovum is fertilized. But when the ovum is not fertilized, what happens? This ovum go out from the vagina, okay, outside the body, and also the wall of the uterus become worn out and make bleeding for the female. Okay, now what is the increase the thickness of endometrium? And it is blood supply preparing the uterus to receive the embryo. This stage lasts for 14 days. Dear student, we finished the describe of the female reproductive organ, and we describe what happens, what is the structure first, what is the structure of the female reproductive organ, also what happens during the menstruation cycle. I hope you enjoy our time. Thank you for your watching. Goodbye and see you again.